For never was a story of more woe than
This week on The Hapless Heroes.
Hello, once again, my friends, as I am in the driver's seat on this hapless mobile, as we take a look at which should be and will be the final episode of this amazing one-shot that we have done. One-shot, air quotes, by the way, for those who are listening and can't see. But
Our four-shot.
Our four-shot. But without further ado, let me introduce the amazing cast of Pridley's Traveling Circus. Starting on my left, virtually, Nicole is Glorp Glep Glep.
oh, oh, oh.
Vocal warm-ups.
Mike as Brunner, Brew, Litzbor.
Let's get this show on the road. Well, let's not go on the road. Let's stay right here, but let's get this show going. That's what I really mean.
Dave as March the Hare.
Oh shit! Is this the play where we're not supposed to say the name of the play? Like we got to call it like the Fritalian play or something like that. I didn't curse us, did I? No curses. Good. Okay, we're good.
No curses, no promises. Fran as Percival Flawedhest.
I was going to say something about breaking a leg, but I don't want to break anything.
More than your head. And Lou as Lev Zangief.
Yeah, I am all finger, no fist, baby.
So, doing a small recap for those listening, because it's been a week. The hapless heroes have found themselves in the employment of this Pridley's Traveling Circus to pay off a debt they have accrued by running into the sign. And what an adventure it has been. You saw many amazing characters, most of which sound exactly like characters you already know. And you saw the cast be integrated into this crazy, crazy world of traveling circuses. Now, we left off with them planning quite intricately how they are going to make this work. And we are brought back in to the shrill, piercing sound of a halfling man dressed in a clown suit with a headset on, screaming, "Move it now! Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go!" As you are all ushered out of the tent and towards what can only be the stage. How do you know? Well, the thunderous,
Stage.
rousing applause. And it sounds because you're underneath, technically, the stadium part of this. Like thunder as feet pounding on the ceiling above.
For the record, how many turns have we taken? Because there's a piece of cable stretching from March in his bag, just reeling out, going back to his thing of monitors, no matter how far we go.
You will be very impressed because following literally right behind you with a massive roll of stage tape, the size of him, is Peter making sure that all of these lines are being laid out of the way of the rest of the circus. So, doesn't matter, really.
Damn, all right.
The stage tape of endless
Gaffer's tape of endless
adhesion.
gaffing.
Peter has a magic item. It's just like,
There it is. That's what it is. Yep, that's what it is. It's a stage tape of endless gaffing right there.
let's go. We need this to be an actual item. We need to make this. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, some aspiring artist out there in the audience, make us this item card.
That would be amazing. Now, you guys are all being kind of rushed. And on your way, you hear Pogo talking into his headset and also simultaneously talking to you. Kind of hard to even get it as he's like, yeah, no, we'll be there in 5 minutes. We're going to be there in 5 minutes. You need to pick up the pace. We're going to be there in 5 minutes. No, they're ready. They're absolutely ready. They know exactly who's going first. Who the fuck's going first?
That's gonna be Glorp.
Clark?
I guess that's me.
That's you? All right, yeah, we're going to have a plasmoid first. Yeah, no, whatever their setup is, All right, who the fuck's going second?
Sure, I'll go. Sure, I'll go.
Yeah, and I'll do the finale.
Right. A harness? For him? All right, we're going to need like 4, 5. Oh, the other one? Okay, yeah, no, oh yeah. All right, cool. And then that means that the GIF going last?
Yes, I'll be going last.
Perfect. Great. All right, you literally all step onto what looks like a little dummy waiter. And now, like, it's almost, you can't hear very much because you're just, the sound from above is like starting to pool in. It just, there's this thunderous beginning. And you hear the voice announcing, and now, presenting the magnificent Glop and their production of Romeo and Juliet. The dummy waiter starts to go up underneath Glorp, and you see you have all of your puppets. You have everything you need.
You also see that Glorp realizes that they had reabsorbed their bones, but had not reassembled them, right? Earlier, like they had been in a pile on the other side of the case, and I had just so they're just in like a pile at the bottom of my abdomen. So I'm also like ejecting bones as quickly as I can because they are not part of the scene.
I have a quick
there are like
question.
ribs flying out of me.
Is it possible
I'm not touching those.
This is gonna sound bad, but just what is the status of living beings when they are encased in Glorp?
They don't dissolve or anything like that.
Can they breathe?
Probably not.
Well, I mean, I suppose if I put an air pocket or like a little, right, I would just need to give them an air hole.
Just give him a tube.
Yeah, right, like a straw.
Like a straw. Maybe even like a hollowed out finger bone that Glorp is dropping onto the ground as we speak. As you see Chomp walk over, pick it up, blow out some what only can be described as very long decayed matter.
Dust.
And he puts his hands together and just tries to dive into Glorp. Is this allowed?
I allow it.
You now have a goblini.
Like a little Glorp pouch, like a kangaroo.
It's just a little pocket, like a bubble that you're like moving around inside. As
Like a kangaroo pouch, except not open, right? Like they're sitting there just with the little like rib sticking out, like a belly button, but not.
Mito Goblini is the powerhouse of the Glorp.
the stage rises, and you see, March, you have your setup, you have your whole, you see the whole stage, you have connection to the Jumbotron, the big screen, magical flickering thing in the middle, all the lights, the whole setup. And Glorp is rising up the dummy waiter. Are you going to give them an entrance? And tell me how you would do so.
And does Glorp become the set, right? That's what you're doing, is you're like shaping the set and then like little puppet appendages, right?
As Glorp is coming up, it's starting with green laser lights, doing the whole
green laser lights
crisscross and go up and down, and some like do 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 do, like Sirius by the Alan Parsons Project just starts going.
All right, this sounds like quite the production.
Not even period appropriate music.
Of course
no.
not.
Because what period are we in, really?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and after that, a big source of light immediately under Glorp that's just shining light through Glorp and projecting out.
Ooh. Now, I must ask, how are you making this happen? Computers?
Yeah, this is definitely a computer's thing. We would have planned this in advance and written a little program to do it. This is a computer's check that I'm sure I'm prepared for.
Because this could make
Don't
things
have
look
to reach
really
under my
cool,
monitor
or
to-
it could shine an entire light through Glorp, showing the intricacies of how the things floating around inside Glorp.
Yeah.
We'll
This will
find
be
out.
either great or horrible. Let's see.
We're looking for backlight, right?
So it is 18 total, 12 on the die.
Glorp, as you're being risen up on this, and the light, get a little warm feeling through you as the light kind of coming through your body, and you are literally glowing, but in a way, because of the costume and because of the puppets, it looks almost like the sky in the background of this setup that you have created with your body. As everyone hushes down and gets quiet, how do you start your performance?
I have a question first, which is what can I see from my perspective? Can I see the audience, or is the lighting preventing me from seeing the audience?
You have night vision, but I'm assuming that all means that you
I do
don't
have dark vision, yeah.
or dark vision. So that means you don't have bright vision.
Yeah, but we're gonna once things start, we're gonna bring it down and have more of
House
a
lights
spotlight
down
on than lighting out from.
You would be able to, because of also how far away, because from your bubble it was hard to get to scale. But now that you're in the center, now you're in the middle of this stadium looking down. It's just one homogeneous, just black, with where you see lights flickering every so often amongst it. Very unable to really pick out details without.
So as far as I can tell, there could be 10 people or 10,000. I have no idea.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay.
Perfect. So for your first skill check, starting your one Glorp production of Romeo and Juliet, what do you do?
I feel like I'm gonna start with performance.
Good start.
Right. That's the
Makes the most sense.
So I'm gonna start by making a performance roll here.
Yes. This is where a bard really would have been like a.
Who needs those?
I just realizing.
Wait a minute.
Boringly, that was very middling. I rolled a 10 plus 4.
10
for
plus
charisma,
4.
So 14.
14. Pretty solid
Okay. It's okay.
for a first,
Yeah.
for an opening. So the silence doesn't really shake you at all. It doesn't get to you. It almost like
No.
the stillness kind of makes it like you do all of the time in your cooler back on the ship when you're spending time by yourself. The darkness, the coolness of it is comfortable.
It's just like reading to my class.
And how would you start this play for the listening viewers at home?
So I would start as the chorus. So I start by having, I'm basically invisible via the fancy trick that Gloria's set up here for me, and some fabulous lighting from my wonderful crew here. So I go basically invisible, and all of the puppets are on my pseudopods, kind of just like, floating around, right? Because we're in like chorus mode. So and I do the prologue of Romeo and Juliet that way, So
2 households both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean.
et cetera, et cetera. And then bust into the first scene and start acting it out with the appropriate puppets.
As the scene starts, the stillness in the crowd. For all of you who are now privy to this, because I'm assuming most of you be under the stage, but Brew, you are actively taking part in this. So you have kind of come up the side entrance and are watching this. And you can tell just from the sheer kind of like concentration that you can hear. The people are confused, but they are also rapt. As Nicole, the DC of this challenge was a 15. And March lowered the DC by 1 point. And in my game, we all know.
Well, yeah, and tying the DC actually is a success. So
Didn't know that. Edit that out. Yeah, that's a success that we all
And
did.
in my games as all games.
In my games as all games. Just ties go to the player. So you have their attention. As the play kind of moves forward and you're getting into the deeper parts of the story, Brew, you're watching this all go down. You're helping where you can, but for the most part, they've been kind of doing the thing. But as you're seeing Glorp go through, it's been a while. This is a long play, even in an abridged version. These people are in. They just watched elves fly through the sky. God knows what gods know what they've seen. How are you going to help Glorp get over this bump?
Question. I could like benefit them. So I don't. This isn't his normal go-to. But I'm trying to think of like how I can use my intimidation. But I don't want to use it in like a negative way. I don't want to like be like, I don't want to like bully people. But I want to figure out how I'm a fucking bull. Like I'm this big old brutish looking like thing. I feel like there's a way I could potentially, like if I see somebody like falling asleep or something, right? I could just kind of like bodyguard myself up, like shimmy up next to them and be like, I can give them a stare down or something.
As you stare into the crowd, there are people close to the ground. You can't see them, but you can hear them because they're talking quite loudly during this play.
Ooh. Okay. Yep. So I'm gonna kind of like shimmy up next to them and just kind of like do one of those kind of like snorty sounds. Like I'm not very like I don't do it like often, so it probably comes out really awkward, like a snotty sound, not like a huff, but like kind of like a. But like I'm trying to do it so that they stop talking.
Roll intimidation.
There's a 21.
Can you do something for me? Okay. With a 21, your grunt comes out almost in perfect timing with a dramatic moment in the scene. But the people that were closest to you can feel the wind hit their face as they look up, and now you are silhouetted in all of the stage lighting that is provided. So you're literally just a massive, standing over them, shadow of Brew.
With horns. Yeah.
With horns. And they immediately shut the fuck up. As we all look back to Glorp, who's now continuing into the third portion of the show.
So when
second
they
portion. I'm in Act 2, Scene 2.
Nice.
When they shut up, I just kind of like nod my head and go, "Thank you, friends."
Yeah, no problem. What the fuck was that? Shh, he'll come back. The lights shine down on Glorp once again. The audience is wrapped. You've reached this midway portion of the show. You're trying to keep them interested in this one Glorp production of Romeo and Juliet. How do you do that?
It's okay. I mean, I do that with romance because we've reached Act 2, Scene 2, outside of Juliet's balcony. So both with the romance and with some majorly acrobatic performance, as I need to constantly be maneuvering inside and outside of a window of myself I've made with Juliet and Romeo, and also being Juliet's nurse at the same time. So I'm going to do an acrobatics check for this one. If that's a valid argument for that.
That is a valid. I'll take it. I mean, it's
Doing
part
this
of the
very
performance.
acrobatically.
It would have to look fluid to look not awkward as shit. So let's do it.
Okay, a 16 plus 3. I killed that. 19. I feel like I killed that, hopefully.
You can't keep eating like this. This one was probably one of the more difficult levels, because the crowd, as you feel them, they're used to a spectacle. They're used to moving pieces. And you are just one Glorp. Keeping them entertained requires more flair, more chutzpah. You recognize this as you take your form and start maneuvering the pieces in and out. And because there are no rude people talking during this part of the performance, with a DC of 19, this is another success, which means, congratulations.
It's a high DC at our level.
You have succeeded. Yes, it was. This was, like I said, the biggest hurdle that this had to get over. And I am very surprised that you have all rolled above a 10 for literally everything that you've done. It's fine. It's fine. At this point, the people are now, you've kind of adapted, and they're now kind of like, okay, we got to see where this ends. Now, March has done his job. Brew has done his. Unless somebody steps in to help you here, this would be just you doing a skill check. Now, you passed the first two, which means technically your act was a success. However...
Oh, wait, do I not have to act out any of Act 2, Scene 2?
Oh, yeah. No. Yes, you do. I forgot that that was a thing. You looked too excited when you thought you didn't.
Romeo Puppet down at the bottom says,
He jests at scars that never felt a wound.
Juliet enters at the window. But soft, what light through yonder window breaks. It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair son, and kill the envious brood, who is already sick and pale with grief. That thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. Be not her maid, since she is envious, etc.
And the crowd is not even don't even need an intermission.
They're into it.
They are fully in, and none of them have noticed the Goblini literally moving around, trying to keep all of the pieces like trying to support you from a inside support.
He's like an internal stage crew, like moving props to just where the pseudopods need them.
Now,
swimming around.
The result of this last one does not you automatically will succeed your act. Your act is considered a success. However,
sick.
How you end,
I mean, this is
definitely going to affect.
And we stick the landing.
And this is persuasion, because I am persuading them of the death of, Romeo and Juliet here, right? Like, I'm about to kill two hand puppets, and I need people to be upset about it.
I will accept the persuasion roll.
Excellent. I saved my best roll for last. Ooh, I saved my best roll. I swear this is really happening. I need to it's not a 20, but it is a 19, if it can, right? See, I'm not making this up. I am really rolling this well tonight.
I believed you, but also...
and that is +4, +2, so I had 25.
If I could tell you how many times this happens to me, you guys would find this way more funny than it is. That's amazing. And I will say that with your riveting interpretation of this final scene, let's bring it home. If nobody is choosing to assist,
it doesn't seem like they need the help. Percival is just watching from backstage in like awe. Like he's like emotionally invested at this point.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of peanut shells at Percival and Lev's feet.
We're like sitting next to each other, just sharing like a big gigantic bag.
The people that were talking now have like tears in their eyes as they're standing next to Brew, leaning in to hear more.
Glorp.
Finger of hold. Looks like we're getting some early fingering in.
We're in the Capulet tomb late at night. And Romeo has just drank the poison. Without any blood spurts. Actually, you know what? With blood spurts. At this point, it doesn't even matter because the Goblini's got really into it. So he drank poison and a giant blood spurt happened. Nobody questioned it because the performance was just going that well.
Like fountain out of the puppet. Everyone.
The friar. We're coming in with the friar, so.
Come, go, good Juliet. I dare no longer stay.
Go, get thee hence, for I will not away.
What's here? A cup closed in my true love's hand. Poison.
Oh, wait, this is supposed to be Juliet, sorry. What's here? A cup closed in my true love's hand. Poison, I see, hath has been his timeless end. O churl drunk all, and left no friendly drop. To help me after, I will kiss thy lips. Haply some poison yet doth hang on them, to make me die with a restorative. Thy lips are warm.
Maid boy, which way?
Yea, noise, then I'll be brief. Oh, happy dagger, this is thy sheath. Stab.
Blood
The
splurt.
rust, and let me die. A hand puppet slowly falls to the ground.
Everyone.
Sadly, blood
March,
spurting.
March, lights.
Nice tight spotlight.
Then darkness. Everyone in
There never was a story of more woe
Yes.
than this of Juliet and her Romeo.
everyone is
All
like,
of Glorpsarn's bow.
like literally the whole stadium's literally just like, I didn't expect that to happen, but that was worth it, man. That was crazy. Oh man, this place is the best. Look at Brew.
The lights get bigger, like Glorp bows with all of the puppets, and then all of the Gobolini stage hands take a bow.
Only, let's say there's a couple that are in sight, but none of them are willing to come out fully into the light. The most
I understand.
courageous being Chomp by far.
Thank you for bearing with all 17 of my Juliet voices throughout that process.
Yes, you're welcome, hapless listeners.
It's all just forced air for Glorp, anyways. So you know.
Oh yeah, I got progressively higher pitched as I kept going because it was so hard to do at the start.
As you kind of
the audience members that I intimidated before see me now, and I'm crying. I'm weeping.
They are weeping with you.
Tears are just coming down my face.
The guy's like, did you know how that was gonna end like that? What the fuck?
I didn't. I really didn't.
Jeez, man. Thank you for telling me to shut the fuck up. I really needed that. His
You're
friend's
welcome.
next to him, like, what the fuck? I mean, it was
pleasure.
Okay. All right. As you guys kind of reconvene, Pogo comes up.
Reset. Yeah.
Great job, especially for a newbie. That was crazy. That was insane. I didn't see any of it. I was in the back. All right. So who's next to said Horn? Yeah, you're up next, right?
Yes, that is right.
Doing the fingering.
Yes, that is correct. We'll do a night of full finger.
I mean, there are no kids here
all
tonight,
knuckle.
so you can do whatever you want. But geez, whatever. Come on, they're waiting. He's like ushering you
Yes.
to the dummy waiter.
I need to make sure that he is safely harnessed so that when I heave him up later, he does not fall out or drop or die.
Is this the first check?
That sounds like a skill check that will need to happen for that to work.
Yes, make sure you rope me up good. I'm a mystical Mac Zaddy right now.
So if I could kind of meta this for a second. So because I will also be like pulling on him later, are those two separate checks? Do you want those to be two separate?
I'm going to say, because of the nature of the game, that we're playing. Normally, in a normal encounter, of course, I would want to check for everything. However, how you do this right here, I think will directly affect whether or not you even can pull him up.
Right.
So we'll call this your skill.
Or if we have to improvise later.
Or if we have to
Because I want to use my athletics skill. Like I want this to be my athletics. So using my strength.
How would you use strength to harness this man?
Well, it would be more or less like making sure that it's like safe enough for me to then pull him up later.
So what you're
Does that make sense?
The athletics would be later, yeah.
Right. So the athletics would be later. So this part would have to go based on faith. See what I'm saying?
What do you mean faith?
Like you would
maybe
you would
sleight of hand or insight or
you would be
so it's
wisdom.
So you want it as two separate checks then?
We'll do it for now.
But this one informs the other, whether the other one could even be used.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. But then that also changes the DC rating.
This is scary. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It should be.
Don't worry.
5e.
I can cash in my help, using like investigation to check all the things if this fails. That's what I'll cash it in for.
See? Now we're doing it.
All right. So this is a flat roll at this point.
Yeah. I figured.
Like I have a +0.
That's better than a minus.
Okay.
No fucking way, dude.
Okay. It's a scary number, but it's not a bad number.
Okay.
It's a 15.
Is it a scary number?
That's a pretty good number.
Because DCs
No, I mean but the DCs are like
nebulous.
right around there. Yeah.
They're very nebulous.
I don't know.
Right.
Well, you guys only really know the DCs for the actual people. DCs for the individual tasks have been hidden so far.
Yeah.
And as far as you know, you have fastened this pretty secure. You've done some rope work.
We take those.
This works.
I think I see how the game is played. We're just adjusting the modifiers.
Yes.
And the real role is the performer.
Yes.
Right.
Mwahaha. You guys are rolling like gods today. Like, so I don't even, like, it's fine.
Let's not speak too soon.
Oh yeah, can I curse you? Like,
we're bound to screw something up.
Lev?
Okay, no, listen, crew, we got this. Glorp, that was incredible. Lev?
Harness is on. Are you ready?
Glorp is carrying a bouquet of a dozen roses now.
Lev,
I'm gonna stand. Go ahead.
You go first.
I was gonna say I'm gonna stand near Brew, near the rigging equipment, to if I need to assist with my armor of assisted strength to kind of give him an extra pair of hands in case something unexpected happens.
All right. Now I still have my assist for this round as well, right?
Yes. You can blow them all in as much order as you guys want. I'm not gonna stop.
Okay. All right. I want to, because my contribution this time running the board is going to be the soul of special effects, deception.
Ooh.
I mean, they're all the smoke and mirrors we have to do for, a psychic's show and to, make things look right for when he's raised up.
And in your HUD, on your screen, there is a big button that says fog machine that you've been wanting to press this entire time. Yep. I'll take it. I'll take it, deception.
Yeah. We got some deception. Nat 1.
Dave did that on purpose.
Fucking say?
Dave did that on purpose.
That
no,
is spectacular because when you press that button, Peter watches you press it, and just too late goes, I wouldn't. Lev, you at first are going up the dummy waiter in a slow fashion, getting yourself ready to be in the spotlight, taking a breath. You're a professional. You've done this before. What you haven't done is be launched by a giant plume of fog off of the dummy waiter and fly out of the mechanic, pausing with a natural 1. Somebody is going to have to try and catch you, or you will fall flat on your face for your first part of this.
This is where we.
He's in the harness. He's in a harness.
Probably not me.
Thank you,
Can I
Dave.
not roll against that, like a performance check or something?
Do you want to roll
like,
a saving
roll
throw?
it out, you know what I mean?
Maybe like a dex saving throw, or
or dex saving throw.
do that. But again, it's all affects the DC.
Okay. Should I do it, or should I wait for somebody else to suggest something
Affects
other
things.
than
That sounds
me
like it's
catching?
completely
I don't
up
know-
to you, my
I don't
friend.
know who's gonna fucking catch me. You know what I mean? Who's gonna
It's
catch
not about
me?
catching. You're hooked up to rigging. We can like try to gently lower you down so that this is
Okay.
like you fly
must
into
decide.
the air and then float
In that
and
case,
descend. Yeah,
I mean, okay, if we do it that way, then I'll do a performance to save the launch. You know what I mean, and make it look
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
intentional.
And that will
So,
be the
but I
first
need to
round
know
skill.
which one's gonna happen. I guess.
Okay. So depending
Do I
on
feel
how
the
this
resistance
goes,
from my crotch carrier right now, or
I mean, you're okay, but you know the ground is getting a scary amount of distance away as you look. So,
okay? Well, I
is anyone going
Okay.
to try and catch him before he does anything?
Brew.
Yeah, definitely.
You
I'm
have
gonna, I'm gonna hold and yank on the rope to attempt to steady him as like he comes back down. So like pull the rope enough where like there's no more slack, so he's not just falling. He's kind of like pulled, like the rope pulls quicker, so that we can kind of like lower him down slower.
That sounds
Does that make
like
sense?
an athletics check to me.
That sounds like the athletics check you wanted to do. Bud.
I'm switching the die because the other die rolled 3 really high numbers, so I'm hoping that by switching the die, it
That's
actually.
not how that works, dude.
I don't
You can do
care.
whatever you want.
No, it did not work. Okay, it's a 7,
Okay.
but
Percival stepping in. He
Mhm.
sees
I would-
Bruce struggling. He sees Bruce struggling to get the rigging because again, it was such a violent launch.
Oh yeah, the rope.
That like the opposite force of then Lev, gravity pulling Lev back down like is a lot to kind of just grab back onto and like get to look smooth. So I'm gonna pop in here. I'm going to activate my armor of assisted strength to give myself advantage on a strength save to help Brew here.
Okay. By the way, Lev, it feels like somebody like tugged on the harness and like right up your head, your carapace cracked. But then like all of a sudden you're now falling again.
nice. Do I feel it slip though?
We're about to
That's
find
a nat
out.
20. That's a nat 20, baby.
what was your first roll?
That is not good. It was a 2. It was a 2.
That was worse than I did.
It was a 2.
So you, Lev, you feel
Which is why my expression went from disappointed to it was shocked initially, and then it's now happy. Okay.
you feel it let go, so you drop again and then catch, and now in a much more controlled way, start dropping you back towards the stage. Now it's time for your skill
Descending.
roll. Like, how are we going to
You gotta
save
sell
this
it, brother.
intro?
You gotta sell it.
Now my
Make it look
performance
like
roll?
we intended this.
Yes.
Okay, that's pretty good. Or what I would imagine is good. 15 plus 3, 18.
We like that. We like that. We like that.
Well,
I changed my d20s, so.
Glad it worked for you.
Back-to-back ones.
the first, this was to be a lower DC because it was just the introduction. However, due to some technical difficulties, it has turned into a much higher DC for success. Now, the natural 20 and the natural 1 tend to cancel themselves out.
Yes, as they do. The yin and the yang.
So that means that Brew's roll is the only roll besides yours that would have affected, or that the only roll period that would have affected the DC. And he rolled 7, if I remember correctly. That means that the DC had gone
something
up
like
from its
that.
original landing point. So the DC originally was 12. Nat 1, 15. Nat 20, 12. 7. I made it a 14 because I figured that's pretty low, but it's not a nat 1. We're not going to go up.
Nice.
So with a 14, an 18 does succeed. So how does Lev fly out of the center of the stage with a large plume of smoke, seem to free fall, be caught, and then lowered to the stage? How do you make that?
Yeah,
look
I
cool?
like fly out, right? Like chest first, all like in a star formation. I just kind of like come out with
And
the
you are wearing a cape.
cane in my hand. And the cane,
The lights.
the cape is billowing behind me, and the spotlight hits me. I assume because of the gesture that I just gave, and the sparks are going off, or I'm sorry, the pyrotechnics are going off as well. I imagine
That you requested, yes.
And then I feel the control slip from maybe the harness or the force of the blast. I'm not really too sure. I feel myself start to kind of spin in the air, but I just go with it and do more spins. And then
With the cape?
With the cape, and I land inches above the floor with my hands out and slowly lower down to the ground where the spotlight settles on me.
Everyone loses their fucking minds. It is a loud it is the loudest entrance since they just watched the entire play of Romeo and Juliet. None of these people have to work tomorrow. They just watched the freaking Super Bowl halftime show start as you are lowered to the stage, and you see a sign above you in the pyrotechnics that, what was the name you gave yourself?
Proxithrak, the head humper.
No.
It's Mind Humper.
Mind humper.
The Mind Humper.
Proxy Threck, the Mind
In
Humper.
flames through the fog machine as the light settles down on top of you. Now, you have technically blown almost all of your lifelines. 2 of your lifelines that everyone gets for theirs, which would Dave and
Glorp has a lifeline to give.
Glorp
but
is the
I might
last
need
person that has a
See.
universal lifeline. So this means now the show has started. You are essentially by yourself here. How are you going to run this head humping show?
I also give Brew a quick look after the entrance kind of goes off, and I was just like, yeesh. You know, like I can see just sweat pouring off my brow.
Mm-hmm.
What's the name of this circus again?
Pridley's?
Pridley's.
Pridley's. Pridley's what?
I'm looking. Pridley's
Magnificent.
Traveling Circus?
Traveling circus.
Sure.
Magnificent circus.
I have it written down, but someone's capturing my hands.
I wrote it down somewhere.
It's not in the
Yeah,
notes I have because these notes are for these sessions. It just says Pridley's.
I assume that I also have like a really thin like headset on, you know?
Yeah, it's like tape.
with like a little mic that comes down. Yeah, it's like tape. And I have like a lot of heavy like eyeliner underneath on like the bottom of my eyes, you know? And I'm like, ladies and gentlemen of
Ridley's Amazing Traveling
Ridley's
Circus.
whatever or something. Thank you all for coming out tonight. It is my pleasure to introduce you to the next act. Me, the magnificent, glorious, astounding Proxithrak, the Mind Humper. And tonight, I will
Flames.
read one of your minds. Maybe talk to the dead or something. We shall see. Do I have any volunteers in the audience? And I look around, and I actually want to take this time to study some people that might be like easy marks.
That's
maybe,
gonna be
'cause
your role?
For a
I'm
cold
used
read,
to, yeah.
That's gonna
'Cause
be
I'm
the
used to,
role?
like, I'm used to looking for people from the audience. I feel like from my wrestling days to be like, you know, that guy over there. I'm gonna beat that guy up.
The
or
kid that
something,
you
know,
yell in his
something
face because
like
you're the
that. Like,
heel.
I hate your sign kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever they say.
That's insight for this role.
Yeah.
This would be your skill.
16 plus 1.
16 plus 1, 17.
17.
Please hold. I have to consort with the universe real quick. because of the setup, and because technically we cannot call upon March to help with the obvious hard time that you would have really seeing deeply, and because this DC only beat you by a small amount, this is technically a fail in the eyes of the game. However, you do succeed at hearing one voice much louder than the others. It draws all your attention, perfectly stage right. The same people that Brew had accosted for being loud. Over here! Over here! Right here! This guy right here! He wants his mind humped! He needs it! The crowd.
Ah, yes. Please, come on down. And I flourish my cane in the air.
And the little half-elf guy. Flourish the cane? Why's the pointing?
It's a cue.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that.
That's true.
And I think that the
I wait for
important
the cue
person,
awkwardly.
I think the important person to remember forgot about it also, so we're gonna say nothing happens. While you just silently wait there. You do it again.
I'm like waiting for a cue that doesn't
I
hit.
say in my earpiece to March's earpiece, like, March, that was your cue. Remember the cane stuff.
Oh, son of a bitch. March has just been audibly beating himself up since that last fail.
Since the launch. Yeah.
Like, he's just entirely in his own head over this.
Pull it together, bud. Pull it together.
Oh, shit. God damn it. It slaps the button. Let's see. What do we want to call it?
Which button is it? This is like just as tense as combat.
Yeah. How do we want to determine this? Because I've already done a check.
Yes, you already did your check. You're already late for the queue. Now it's just like, do you know the right queue?
Hopefully get the spotlight on the person coming onto the stage.
Well, the cane and the hand were two different
Two different queues?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck!
They were. And March is just so in his own head about not succeeding earlier that he can't remember it.
Oh, fuck.
Nice.
And nothing happens as you hear a thunk. Ow, fuck! As the half-elf that is now coming up the stage hits his leg on the stair as he blindly climbs the stage and enters the light.
Like, we get it with the lighting, but it's all just visibly like a half beat late.
You just see him swearing and holding his leg as he gets on the stage. All right. I love the circus-themed backgrounds. None of you can see this for those listening, but half of us have joined the circus at this point. So, with that being said, you now have your audience member. Everyone's wrapped, although there is a little okay, what is going on here? What is this? It's a comedy or
eventually
what?
the lights start to get more ethereal and things like that, right?
The music,
there's like cymbal noises.
Starts playing in the background. All right, you gonna hump my mind or whatever this thing is? Wait, what is this?
That is a good question. What is your name, child?
Call me Ryan.
Ah, yes. Brian, it is good to meet you. Yes.
Welcome
to the center of the ring.
Before he answers, his mic cuts, you just hear your voice getting loud and reverby. To the center of the ring.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, whatever.
It is not something for you to be afraid of. Okay? I want to set some expectations for what is going to happen.
Do I need a safe word?
You strike me as someone who cares about their appearance. Takes pride in being independent.
He's wearing a shirt that just says all the beers and all the girls for this guy, and it just has an arrow pointing up to his face.
Nice.
Yeah,
yes,
I guess.
I can tell that you are caring and empathetic, but sometimes people take advantage of that. Brian.
Are you what role is this gonna be? I feel like this is the pivotal moment here.
I raise my hands when I say that, and then do a performance check.
The same as the first time? Same skill? Is the first roll?
Does it have to be a different perform?
It doesn't have to be, but it does.
You're just making it harder for yourself if you choose to
Nailed it.
Continue to perform. Okay.
or to just lean on that one skill.
What about a deception check or a...
I say it more aggressively then, and start to
Intimidate him. So it's like, this is how you feel, motherfucker. You will go along with this.
Yes, I can tell that sometimes. yes. You tend to put your own needs before others. Sometimes at their expense, I can tell. Isn't that right, Brian?
Okay. Roll intimidation.
Wait, did you say he was empathetic, but then he's very selfish?
I changed
Yes.
it,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
because I was being aggressive, yes.
Oh,
It's got to be pretty high, right? A dirty 21.
Can you do something for me? All right.
No, we're Kendrick fans.
Yes, you're right. But also, tradition. I'm trying to think here. Because technically, you have succeeded against all odds here. That DC was high as
18
fuck.
plus 3, baby.
DC was high as fuck. Because this show at this point gives the late night fucking, the shows they randomly put in between when they're selling shit. And the infomercials in the middle of the night. It's kind of reading one of those, right, to the audience. But
The lights are aiding this performance, though, thankfully.
there is one person totally enwrapped with this. And luckily for you, because of the sound of the audience around him, you and Ryan are the only people that can really hear what he's saying. And you hear, yeah, he got you. He got you. Tell him about Shelly. And you just see Ryan just, yeah, that's me. That's me. Are you gonna tell me something specific? You're just gonna guess.
I am sensing that there's someone on your mind. Someone you've been wondering about. It's like an S name or...
His eyes get a little wide, and you just kind of like,
Shh. I'm getting a shh. And I start to
We
look around.
get a close up on the jumbotron of like the nervous look on the person's face. Yeah.
And also, I start to look. I stop looking at him, and I start to look out at the audience as if I'm like hearing it out in the audience, right? To like make it so that I'm not getting any information from his facial cues, and I'm Shelly.
you see his
Yes.
face drop
Those-
open with recognition. You see the crowd, like, yeah, she took everything took it. Yeah, anybody could have guessed that.
Yes, it feels like things started out strong, but now there is some uncertainty, like you're not sure where you stand with them. And you've been holding back from saying something important, and now's the time to be honest. Brian, your intuition is stronger than you think.
Oh, you're right. You're so right. He grabs your shirt, pulls you close, and starts screaming into your microphone, Shelly, I love you. I'm sorry, Shelly, I love you so much. Please take me back, Shelly. You see a group of
And then
goblins start
I
pulling
grab
this
him-
man off.
Yeah, I like peel him off of me and like flourish my hands out and my cane and say, ladies and gentlemen, it has been my pleasure as tonight Brian was playing checkers and I was playing tarot. Thank you very much. Have a good night. And hope that the lights do the thing that I want them to do as I flourish around.
Just clapping. There's a bunch of people who are like What the fuck did we just watch?
But also, what the fuck is Nicole's
I don't know.
sock puppet bag?
It's been so hard to look at this.
It's Glorp's production of Romeo and Juliet. It's all
Oh,
the pseudopods wearing Romeo and Juliet costumes.
Oh my gosh.
This has gone off the rails, but what else did I expect? All right. With that, the dummy waiter starts lowering. The first person you
and
see.
before he leaves, I bonk him on the head with my horn and say, and do that thing too as well. I got to do the horn bonk. Yeah.
I need 2 rolls immediately right now. Strength save and then a
Yeah.
dexterity saving throw from March.
Okay. 17. 12 plus 5.
I don't have enough time to get another one out of dice jail, so behave. Literally another natural 1.
Dude.
I mean, March is shook right now, so this makes a lot of sense.
All
He's
right.
just on full tilt.
So you would all see as the spotlight like following you and you grab him in March, you see it happening. But again, you're just a little off. So you didn't it didn't click until it was too late. And everyone in the arena watches Lev grab him. And with my natural 1 con save, you just see Lev and his body go limp, and then the lights turn off. Everyone's just like, was that part of the show? What the fuck just happened, bro?
Yes.
Pogo is waiting. He's like, that was something. That was.
Well,
All
you
right.
want to remind
Milestone,
him.
what can I say?
Percival is
Works.
furiously typing away a simple script to get to send to March that he could just run for the opening lights so that there doesn't have to be any manual intervention.
I'm assuming he wants to save you for the if he misses his shot. Okay. So the dummy waiter is
we're gonna save it, but also he's just like March is really just on full tilt right now. Like he's slamming things around in his area, grumbling to himself.
Peter just brings you replacement keyboards every 15 minutes.
In the brief intermission before I get put on stage, I'm gonna run back into the AV room where March is. Okay, I'm gonna lead down. I'm gonna just because I know he's like laying on the ground right now, right? Probably. I'm just kind of bend down on one knee, kind of like put my hand on his shoulder and just be like, March, listen, okay? I understand you're a little shook right now, but listen, okay? We can pull this together, okay? Just one more act.
Now's not
One
the
more
time
act.
to be patronizing, you fucking asshole.
No.
Keyboard flies against the wall.
I'm gonna give you a pep talk.
Cool. March is just completely irrational right now. But seriously, get the fuck out of here.
Okay, all right. and,
Close this
Lev
thing.
like Lev comes through the curtains at that point and is like, holy fuck, what the hell was that?
First of all, gives Lev this look like no, like just like that, just cut it out. We're on to the next one.
You hear Pogo yelling, "Come on, we have it next." He runs, opens the tent. Oh, kid, what was your fucking name? Come on, now, pick, faster.
Deadeye Percy.
Deadeye Percy.
Yeah. What's going with that? Deadeye Percy, the
Deadeye
magnificent shot.
Yeah, and you hear over the loud, Deadeye Percy, and everyone's just like, finally, something maybe violent. I don't know. This is classic.
The stage has been reset, so there's like, a bunch of different platforms as well as like moving parts and things like that where there's a bunch of targets set up. I have Brew now on stage, in his, like shirtless outfit, right, with his scarf, with a pile of clay targets, like clay discs.
All right, folks, it's said he can hit anything under a mile with just a flick of his wrist. It's said that he is so magnificent that all targets look the same to him no matter how far. So he better not miss. Everyone just
Yeah, I enter in from the bottom, right? Like from the bottom of the stage, and like the lights are still on the backdrop, right? They're not on me. And there's just this like crack of lightning. is like my little like lightning whip, from the cantrip just kind of like cracks and like creates this spark of light. And then the spotlight down on me. You can see like I'm like twirling a revolver in one hand and like this, crackle of electricity in another that's coming from like some sort of, assisted device on my wrist. And I just kind of give Brew the nod.
All right, Brew.
So I just want to clarify, I should also be using different skills, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Try.
So I'm gonna use acrobatics for this one. Making it so that they're in like different areas and different spots so that it makes it more exciting.
Place them in exciting spots.
I imagine a lead up, like a shot put where you kind of like have to like get some momentum going to get these things flinging.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it.
For sure.
Acrobatics.
Not terrible, but I don't think it's great. So it's a 12.
A 12, you say? Well,
it's not the worst.
Percy, they are getting launched. The variable
they're getting launched.
So
here's what I'm gonna do here.
Different. They're not like equally apart. They're like kind of spread out a little haphazard.
I'm going to use Arcana for this, to kind of use my mastery of spellcraft and things like that to kind of then, in that case, try to maybe use the lightning lure, right? That like almost like whip of lightning in more creative ways so that instead of just straight out, I might try to like angle her through the legs or, something like that just to kind of like amp it up a little bit so that even if if where he's placed them aren't super like far apart or super exciting, I can still try to play it up using magic to kind of aid me with the first part of this act.
I like that.
Okay.
I'll accept an Arcana roll.
Come on.
Glorp, you by just reminding Nicole, you are the only lifeline left. So if you feel the need, you are more than welcome.
It's a 15.
15, you say?
10 plus 5.
As they all kind of go out in the sporadic pattern, you feel the lightning lure start to kind of build up power. You whip out the first one, which is your closest one, relatively easily. Into the second one. That third one, Brew put a little too much sauce on.
And I imagine because, again, Lightning Lord does pull the target closer, too, so I almost snap into some of the debris, kind of, like, hits me. Sorry, my headphones up my head. Hits Percival, you know what I mean? Like, I hit by some of, like, the shrapnel of the clay. Thankfully, it's not too sharp, but, like, it kind of, like, maybe, like, cuts my cheek or something.
No damage, but, like, cosmetically.
Yeah.
And then the third one, like, flies and bounces off the wall. And it flies towards bouncing off the wall. And as it hits the wall, everyone kind of just like, what the, oh.
Can I try to save that by then taking the pistol and like shooting it before it hits the ground?
Yes, but let's do disadvantage. But I'll give you a chance.
So can I make it a shot with an actual pistol, shot? Yeah. Okay. Okay, I mean, it's still a respectable 13. Wait. I'm gonna use as a musketeer as part of my subclass. I do have a maneuver I can use here. I can spend a technique die to use precision. So I can add this to the roll. I can use the D6. I'm gonna add a D6 to this. So again, we're at a 13. We're adding a 3, 16.
Bullet hits. Just before it hits the wall, it explodes. The crowd, however, did watch Percival do it in a fumbling kind of a way.
I try to sell the flourish. I try to sell it.
However, because it did not, the initial did not exceed the DC for the round, technically the round is a fail. However, the audience is still watching. Although it did look a little bit like Percy's clumsiness got the better of him in this round.
It's okay. We're gonna bring it up another notch with the second one. Okay. I'm now going to look into one of the cameras that March can see me from, and like kind of give the nod to activate the flying targets.
Mr. March, you're getting a signal over the feed. Would you like to do something about that?
So, I'm gonna take a look because 3 out of March's 9 monitors are straight broken right now.
They're not even March's. That's the funniest part.
All right. 11 feels right. So yeah, how about we make this a perception check to see if he hears that over his hissy fit.
Okay. This is your roll.
Okay.
I'll take it.
Yeah, we'll make this a perception.
I like it.
I feel like anything to perform would be done at disadvantage.
If you roll another
this
nat one, burn that dice. Like on camera. Let's watch it burn.
Melt it down.
So it's a 4 plus 3, so it's a 7.
You rolled only
Not a one.
7 and 1s. You've rolled only 7s and 1s.
Yeah, he's on full tilt. He's completely just mentally checked out from this
Mathematically,
right
the
now.
chances of this happening are insane.
I mean,
So
we
does
had
this-
such
so-
good rolling earlier too.
So is there like an awkward cue, right, where there's like this pause, right, where nothing is happening?
Your flourish doesn't match up with the
the
stage.
beginning of the targets appearing.
Yes.
I would then use the button, one of the buttons I installed, like the toe buttons, to cue them myself.
And they will
I'm
launch
loving-
minus the awkward.
I'm loving that I take over as DM next, so I can turn this into a really epic hissy fit on March's part.
All right. If you lose this one,
All right.
technically this performance is a fail.
This is a 3-part performance, okay? I can still dazzle him with the blindfolded part of this. So, all right, the flying targets happen, and at this point now, I'm gonna pull out my shotgun that has the blanks loaded in, and I'm going to just start. I'm going to use my computer's skill
Time it.
to time it so that as the shots are going off, right? Like I have the script running so that it's activating, so that no matter the position that I take, whether I'm trying to do like whatever trick shots or however it appears, right? I never fucking miss. All right,
I like that. I like that. The DC for this one, I like that.
Come on, baby.
Drum roll, please, Fran. Editing, Fran. Ooh, he doesn't look happy.
Please. I mean, okay, well, it's not bad. It's just I'm not, the DC is so nebulous, right? So it's a 17.
Okay. That silence, by the way, for people listening, is me not giving anything away with my face. Just waiting for Fran to decide what he wants to do.
I mean, I don't have anything I can personally do to affect this. I only have but one,
Lifeline.
2 lifelines
One lifeline.
that I can I have 1. Did Brew do anything to affect this?
Yeah, he
'Cause I
threw the
thought I have
discus.
2. He threw the discus. That's right. So sorry, I was.
But you did
just
roll
trying
a
to think about other
17,
ways.
which is pretty. So I understand the.
It is respectable.
Yeah.
Yeah, should Glorp be helping with this one, or should Glorp save it for round 3 just in case?
Yeah, because if he does succeed
Right.
this one, round 3, if he succeeds, it's a success. If he doesn't succeed this one, it's a loss either way. So that's why the.
It feels like this is where you would need to cash it in. It feels like this is where you need to cash it in because of the fact that I've been doing this on my own. I feel like this is going to be. I mean, at the same time, this is my first time using computers, so a 17 could very well be okay. I can't decide that, so I'm going to kind of leave it up to Glorp, whether they want to step in now or they thought that was adequate.
I mean, Glorp's plan to assist would be based on when they see the problem
faltering,
happening,
right?
right? So, like, yeah, my goal here is going to be to use deception and minor illusion to make it look like a target's being hit if one is being missed. So I'm only going to do that if I see a target fail.
So that means it would be a DC save on the people watching, correct?
Yes.
That's a lot of saves.
I'd
Right?
hoard it. It's fine.
I can interject if there's a missed target.
Oh,
Lev has guns. He's got 2 pistols.
Lev have you supported any of them yet?
No.
Oh, so this could be my life.
Oh.
Lev, I need the lifeline.
Lev hasn't
Glorp will
used his
I'll save
lifeline
mine for
yet?
round 3.
Why do
No,
what?
I don't think I did anything for.
Yeah.
We'll save the deception for blindfolded
I
round.
think Lev did nothing for Glorp, right?
Nope.
Lev
And
did
then I
nothing,
performed.
and then he performed. So this is I still got his to cash in too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, that is correct. All right, Lev, how are you helping?
So
He's gonna fucking shoot up target if I miss it.
yeah, I mean, if he's missed a target, I'm going to take a secondary shot.
All right, roll to hit with the
Fine,
pistol.
Is that a dexterity roll? Is that what those?
That's what you
skill
add
would
your
you like to
dexterity
use?
to it. You can just use this to hit.
A dirty 20.
I
18
make it
plus
look like
2.
I curved the bullet I missed.
There is a small after reach shot, so you pull the trigger and it'll pop, but then a secondary pop happens. However,
Yeah,
optically,
as soon as I see that Lev takes the shot from backstage, I turn around to the audience to flourish as if I'm it was a delayed shot, right? And I kind of hold the gun up and blow on the
right as
or
it
like,
explodes.
You banked it
As it
off
explodes,
of the other
yeah.
bullet, kind of, you know?
yeah.
All right, which makes the DC that originally was 17
Oh, okay.
go down to, I would say,
It's
with a
okay.
dirty 20, it would have gone down pretty soon. So it looked good.
They're into it now.
They're into it. That was a pretty good save there, Lev. Nikita would be proud. Highly efficient.
Percival tries to
that's
sort
right.
of feign, like a flourish that he wipes his brow because he's sweating profusely. As Act 3 now begins, I have my assistant or just someone bring a blindfold out.
Pogo would run out.
Right? I don't really say much, right? It's kind of this is all very much performative, right? So these very broad gestures as I reach off stage, right? And someone runs to me with this gigantic blindfold, and I don the blindfold
Underneath your ridiculously large cap.
Yes. And I kind of gesture to the audience, right, to for them to all see the the completeness of the blindfold, right? How there's I cannot see a damn thing; it is covering all of my eyes,
Everyone's okay.
And then I trigger the rest of the targets to now start appearing, right? Now more faster this time, right, than the ones before, flying through the air and whatnot. And without breaking my sort of again, my torso facing the audience, right? I pull the revolver out. I spin it to ensure that it's loaded with the blanks, and I'm going to use my investigation. Kind of use this to sort of get a feel for my surroundings, right? Listen for just really listen, I hear the hum of the little propellers on these targets that are flying around. I'm feeling, getting that tactile feel of the ends of the casings to ensure that all of the caps are still in place, right? To ensure that this is the right one that I've grabbed, that everything's ready to go, and I know I have a general feel for where things are behind me, so I can still try to sell the explosions, because I'm going to be triggering these with my foot, right? Again, I'm not going to be actually hitting the targets. I just need to make sure that I'm tracking them enough so that it's believable. Here we go.
Investigation.
Fuck.
I think that would be
only an 8.
that would be your cue.
Only an 8. It's only an 8. I need Glorp. Glorp can tell that I'm taking an unusually long time to kind of start the shooting, right? I'm still kind of building the drama, but it's almost getting to you can tell that I'm panicking a little bit because I can't tell actually where anything is. It's just there's too much din of other stuff happening that I can't focus on where stuff is happening. and I almost just like need like a little guidance or something. Like I have an earpiece in as well.
Ooh.
Oh,
Wait, can I use a spell to help for this?
Yes.
How would I do that?
yes, you can.
I mean, I use
cast-
Arcana at the beginning of my
You can use a
act.
spell.
If you
The
could, I guess, cast a
assistants
spell.
can use anything in their kit.
If I wanted to cast Fairy Fire to light up the targets.
So that I had advantage on not aiming at them, but like so that it's almost like that extra. Okay, yeah, that's fucking
I
dope.
will
love that.
I will give it to you that the DC won't change, but you will give him advantage on the shot if you succeed at this. Is this a automatically happens? Or is this a someone needs to roll a DC kind of a thing?
I mean, it's on an inanimate target, so it's just like, yeah, just lighten them up.
So
yeah, right? I feel like that would
Yeah.
double
Does it
check the rules
transfer
of Fairy
between
Fire
targets? I don't think it does.
I thought it was in a. I
Each
might be
object
Baldur's
in a
Gating.
20-foot cube within range is outlined
It's
in blue,
in a-
green, or violet light.
Each
Your
object.
choice.
Perfect. Yes. Okay. Great. What color is it? Color's the light that it's outlined in.
I
I
mean,
can see,
green.
but-
We'll go with matching the laser lights that started the whole
Yeah,
show
yeah,
in
yeah,
the first
perfect,
place,
perfect,
right?
perfect,
We're going to
perfect,
close
perfect,
it out
yes.
with some green lights, too.
Green lights.
Okay, here we go. I am then. I had to make one more check here, and I'm going to leverage computers again because again, I'm trying to just. I can always stick with the skills that I know I'm good at, and I don't want to be risking it on skills I'm not. So even if it's going to be higher, it's better than flat rolls on bullshit skills. So, I am using my computer skill. Then going to be. Start the act, right? Start firing to make it seem like, again, bending or ricocheting bullets, right? I'm triggering all of the supplementary explosions and all the things, again, with the aid of Glorp, also highlighting the targets that are going to explode. Hopefully this means that, we're kind of creating this semblance of like, again, I'm shooting things behind my back.
At this point, March is functionally AWOL, so you doing computers to have to fill in for him is probably really appropriate.
And I'm trying to make it look like I'm just doing, like a light show and not like I'm trying to highlight the
So you'd be
targets
using-
for Percy, right?
Yeah. You'd be using your computers
Jesus
as
Christ.
instead of your advantage, which I'll take.
Okay, which is great because, it's fine. We have a 21, dirty 21.
Can you do something on me?
Computers.
Sorry, I built up. I couldn't do anything about that. With a 21, you can kind of see them in your mind's eye and literally through the blindfold. And you take a deep breath and strike a pose. And in quick succession, with you pressing your button, pop, 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 they all
And then for the final finale, right? Like they go pop, 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 and then again I spin the chamber, right? And then just again hit it with the pop, 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 like hit the
Fan the hammer.
lever action, right? Yeah, fan the hammer, right? And then just again they all just pop, and then but except for the last one, which you hear like a bing, 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 like the bullets like bouncing off of a bunch of different things. You see like sparks every so often on different metallic surfaces, and then a brief pause. A wry smile from Percy, and then the last target.
a roaring applause as everyone just I didn't think that he was gonna pull it off. He pulled it off. What the fuck? Some guy named Brian or Ryan is there like,
yeah.
what the fuck's going on, man?
Remove the blindfold, and then take the hat. Place it to my chest. Take a deep bow.
You guys hear the chants. You hear like people like cheering, and you see the dummy waiter come up carrying everybody that was in the show, including you guys. And now you're center stage, all the lights on you, and you see in March, by the way, you would be still in the back in the like looking out.
Yeah, March is not with them. He is busy
Sulking.
Well, depending on how closely people are watching, like he's gone from trashing his stuff to packing a bag.
As you're packing a bag, Pogo comes up to you, hands you a slip of paper, and says, "Boss says don't open it, and you'll know when, but don't open it until later." And walks
Yeah.
away as you take the slip of paper, and you
Please.
hear people cheering for your friends, and then you guys see another small dot begin to expand into this golden portal, that slowly shifts into a purplish color, pretty similar to the bubble, as you see the snout leading into the head of what looks like a very real, very large golden dragon. As you would see the ringmaster standing atop of it as it reaches out of the portal, blowing flame up into the top of the tent. And you see it light up Pridley's amazing traveling circus. Please thank our lovely guests for their time this evening, as it truly was spectacular. And he looks at you guys and says, but now, don't you think it's time for them to wake up? Everyone cheering, standing, clapping. March, you've just reached the point, like it looks like it's ending. There's streamers. You've just reached the point. You come up on stage. You're standing with your group. Bubble. Silence. Emptiness. It pops. You are all standing in the center of a stage that looks like it hasn't seen any action in many years. Looking to a stadium of worn, empty seats. And you see a pretty worn down, grizzled, bags under his eyes, human man come up to you. Sorry guys, took a little longer on the phone with the company, but honestly, it's all good. We're good here. We don't, as long as you guys don't want to take any actions, we don't, we can do this under the table if you want. How does, 1,000 gold pieces and we'll call it a day? As he holds out the bag of currency. Or what are they called? Credits here?
Yeah, GP.
Yeah, GP.
They're galactic promissory notes.
Yeah, 1,000 GP, for the trouble. Appreciate it. Thank you.
1,000 gold for them and a ride for me.
A ride. I mean,
anywhere.
We can,
what? Literally fucking anywhere but here.
Oh, okay. I mean,
far away from them, as far as fuck away from them as possible.
Jeez. Okay. Yeah, we actually have someone going down to the planet side. If you want to hitch a ride, I guess you can.
Good.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. Was anyone saying anything to March?
True, what?
March, what? It's fine, man. Like, it's okay. We did it.
No!
We got...
The fuck it isn't fine! I damn near cost you your shot to go home!
We're not blaming you, man.
No! Yeah, because you take it for fucking granted. You got one, alright? I never fucking had a home! I'm sure as shit not gonna have it on my fucking conscience that you can't go to yours. I can't do that. I can't. I won't. It means I gotta go walk away from you. But it's fine. At least I'll be able to fucking sleep at night. Yeah, I'll take the cab.
Well, that was crazy.
March just goes and walks off.
Right down. Okay. Well, sorry about your friend, and sorry about your ship, but your friend in the docking bay said that you guys are ready to take off whenever you want.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we're ready. All right.
Yeah, and hey, thanks for coming to Pridley's. I know it's not the best place, but it's my pride and joy. I love running this place.
Yeah. What just happened?
You guys hit the sign, came to my office, said something about insurance. I didn't want anything above table, asked to see the stage, and now you're here? Why?
Nope, just making sure that, the timeline of events just matches up with what I was thinking, for the paperwork.
Yeah,
the insurance
no
paperwork.
We don't need. We don't need anything.
I meant no paperwork at all. No,
All
nothing
right,
at all.
yeah.
Right? Yes. No, we're good.
Yeah,
Yep,
just
everything's
go
fine.
through those doors, and you'll be okay. Just you can leave. We're gonna go help your friend find a new start and hey, are you joining the circus? And he starts walking over towards where Marge is going. Because we could really use some, if you don't mind not getting paid for a little.
I'm gonna, I'll send March a message, like a private message later, just being like, when you're done beating yourself up, you know how to reach us.
Yeah. Like this works just as well as anything else. And it gave me a chance to tear up a little bit of scenery on the way out.
No, completely agree. But I'm just saying, it's one of those ones where it's like, I even titled the subject, like, open it when you're ready to actually hear what I have to say.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, the alternative was the Gaming Commission was never
gonna let March anywhere near there.
Let March anywhere near that place.
As you guys,
no, and I don't think we need March using gambling as his coping mechanism for whatever tantrum he's having
Works
right
for me.
now.
So, no, this is great because it gives it gives a little bit of gravitas to stuff. You get, I don't know. There's plot here.
There's plot here, and if you read the. I put way too much lore about this planet, so you can have fun with that.
Yeah.
Whatever March wants to do here. But anyway, I'm going to yada us just a little bit for time's sake. Back on the ship, the hangar looks nothing like it did when this place looks completely different as far as like there's no employees, it's dusty, it's old, it's rickety.
There's a really important question, and is Chomp still with us?
Not that you can see. Not that you can visibly see. And as you guys make it back to the ship, Choom standing out in front, just, geez, what took you so long? You guys have no fucking clue what it's been like here. Do you understand what ether does when it enters the air? I've been tripping balls for the last 2 hours. And you look, the ship looks completely cleaned. Like somebody basically unassembled, reassembled it. It looks shiny.
There's no way Choom touched this.
It looks shiny. It looks insane. And you see Choom's pupils are massive. Just like the size of his eyes.
I don't care about his pupils, Sebastian. What does his fur look like? Is that clean?
Clean. You've seen it dirtier.
He did not touch the ship. He didn't fix anything. Someone else.
Glorp steps on the only piece of trash that can be seen anywhere near us and reaches down and picks it up and unwraps it a little bit and reads Scroll of Strong Emotion or Scrolls of Strong Emotion and is like,
oh, that makes so much sense.
As you guys all enter the ship, Choom runs up to the controls. Yeah, no, it was fucking crazy. Once I fixed the ether leak, though, it seemed like everything was going a little bit better, and I had to clean some things because I got this weird jittering, I had to chew on something. It was crazy, and he starts turning all the things on. He goes, "Hey, that guy you talked to, did he leave that weird thing in the back?"
What weird thing in the back?
I don't know. It's in the walls or something. He fucking a rat or something is in the ship. I don't know. I'll have Percy deal with it later.
Jump!
As Glorp runs off to inspect whatever that is, Choom starts getting, I gotta get the fuck out of here, bro. I have the worst hangover. The ship starts lifting and he starts flowing out. And as he starts flying off into the distance, he, hey guys, we're gonna be able to get to Jam Jam pretty quick, but we're gonna have to use the rest of the phlogiston that we have if we're gonna make it work. Percy, what the fuck are you wearing on your head? Where did you get that hat?
Oh, am I still in the outfit?
As the ship starts pulling off, March, you are now on the literal space taxi. It smells bad. Dice in the mirror. And you feel this weird little vibration in your front pocket. And you look and there's a note in your front pocket.
Right.
You open it?
Yeah.
As it opens, you see very suave handwriting. And it says, "To the man behind the screens, don't you think it's time that they leveled up?" Signed, Tamlin. And that is where I'm going to end this one shot.
That's a 4-shot, baby. We're level 4 now.
4-shot!
Perfect. Love it.
Yay.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I have a killer headache. Fran, if you please.
I got you.
Thank you so much.
People, fair listeners of the internet, if you want to find us on other places on the internet, you can. They say these days, these links grow on trees, and you can find us on our link tree. It's linktr.ee/haplessheroes. Among those links, those branches, as it were, you will find the sweetest fruit of all growing upon them, and that is a link to our Discord server, where you can meet other members of our community and join an ever-growing group of nerds and other folk who are, and other creatives and other things like that who are, all just talking about stuff in the space. It's really cool, and we would love to see you become part of it. Now, if you really, really, really like us and maybe want to leave us, some kind words in a more constructed way, well, listen, we would also appreciate it if you left us a 5-star review on the podcast service of your choice, or, even left us a comment on one of those services, including one of the places that, comments are known to happen. That's our YouTube, where we also post the episodes as we've integrated onto that platform. Well, that fine platform. And hey, if we see the kind words you say about us, well, hey, listen, we will acknowledge you here on the air as the 5-star human being that you are, including this person, Gavin Hemingway, on YouTube, who said, I would appear to be a 5-star human being. It's so lonely. Oh, I assure you, Gavin, you are among good company.
Titans.
Truly the hapless titans that we need in our lives. So thank you for the comment. We appreciate you. Thanks for listening to the show. Now, say your love runs even deeper than that. So you really, 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 really like us well. We have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/haplessheroes for the price of like $5 a month. You get access to so much behind the scenes content. It is hard for me to enumerate it in a short form outro such as this. We would encourage you to go check it out. We have, again, just to give you some examples, some bloopers, behind the scenes audio. We have free episodes we release on, like interviews with other creatives in the community, lore episodes we're going to be dropping, which are, going to be, part of that bonus content feed. We encourage you to take a look, see if it's right for you. All that money goes right back into making this show the ad-free entertainment you so deserve. Without further ado, I kick it back to Seb, who hopefully can make it through this outro before we send him off to bed. Thank you for DMing, even though you were sick,
Hey,
my guy.
brother,
You did a great job.
It was so much fun. Thank you guys for putting up with my kooky crazy on the off cuff, on the...
This will not be the last time that Sebastian DMs for this show. I can assure you. This was just a way for us to give Jam some time to actually return, and
it,
why not?
It is cool to like just play in like a wacky,
needs to
zany, not really doing much kind of thing. Sorry, March, for the mental breakdown.
This is so good. This is so good.
And if
Love it.
you guys cannot wait for even more content, please go check out where I DM full-time at We Together Gaming or We2 Gaming on our link tree, and we would love to see you over there. Like I said, we're pretty homogenous between our Discords, so if you're in the Hapless Discord,
We're all
you're going to
one
see
big
us.
podcast family up in here.
Dude.
So
Yeah, we have
we're all hanging out
crazy
in all these
discussions
Discord servers.
in both servers.
Yep.
You'll love it. And with that, I'm going to outro the amazing cast of Pridley's amazing traveling circus in the reverse order in which they were introduced, with Lou as Lev Zangief.
I'm just going to add that to my CV. Head humper.
Mind humper.
Mind humper. He scratches it out.
On his crossword, like underneath.
Yeah.
Fran as Percival Flodhest.
This outfit's kind of a little tacky, but maybe I'll save it for a special occasion.
Dave, who will be returning as March the Hare at some point in the future. Mike as Brunner Brew Blitzboar.
That was a performance.
And thank you for protecting the sanctity of our live theater performances. Nicole as Glorp Glub Glub.
And what was he? Forsooth, a great arithmetician, one Michael Cassio of Florentine.
And I am Seb, who has been honored, privileged, and had the most fun being your GM for this crazy four-shot. Be returning as Choom next week. Thank you guys so much, and good fucking game.
GG's. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ah.
Good morrow, fair listeners.